What do you do to fix burnout or not get into a burnout situation in the first place? So I wanted to do this video really quickly because I was discussing this topic yesterday with my mentees, and I wanted to get my ideas out on video while they're still fresh, and hopefully they will benefit you as well. Today I want to talk to you about burnout, being exhausted, being emotionally, mentally, and physically drained. Just a small disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a trained psychologist or anything like that, so do your own research. Take whatever I say with a grain of salt. Don't just believe me because I'm standing in front of a camera talking to you. I'm also not trying to sell you anything, okay? I am offering you my insight. And this video actually is not free. You're paying with your time, so pay attention. So let's look at this idea of being burnt out. Let's begin first by looking at the term burnout. If you do very superficial research, you will discover that the word burnout didn't actually exist before the 1970s. I would even ask the question, did our ancestors experience burnout? Or even another question, were our grandparents and great-grandparents walking around being all burnt out and stuff? The answer is probably no. And I'm not saying that burnout doesn't exist. I can say from firsthand experience, from my own life, that I've had periods, long periods at times, where I felt tired, drained, helpless, no energy whatsoever, so fucking exhausted that I couldn't even fall asleep. So yeah, I definitely believe that you can work yourself into a situation where you're completely depleted and drained. What I'm trying to do instead is to invite you to single out this term burnout and look at it for what it is. It's a label. And whenever there is a label, there is a diagnosis. And whenever there is a diagnosis, there is a disease. And whenever there is a disease, you get what I'm trying to say here. So now that we established that burnout is a modern man disease, what we need to do is to look at what we used to do prior to 100 years ago or so, and what we started doing differently. So the truth is, in the past 100 years or so, we harnessed, as humans, we harnessed nature. So we shifted away from working with our bodies, and we started using our brains more than ever before. So we started to move away from our physiology. We started to move away from the way our body is designed. We're not supposed to be working with our brains for 8, 10, 12 hours a day. That's not how the human body is designed to work. Our physiology is designed in such a way where we have to work with our bodies. You wake up when the sun rises, you go work in the field, you go hunt, whatever. And then at the end of the day, when the sun sets, you go back home, you feast, you have sex, and you go to sleep. Nowadays, most of us are knowledge workers. We work on our laptops for hours every day. We use our phones continuously throughout the day. If we're tired, we drink coffee or tea or Red Bull. We fall asleep watching TV or looking at our phones. We consume food 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, sometimes even more. If you keep doing this for a while, well, what happens if you use a machine not in the way that it's supposed to be used? What happens? And of course, you will screw up the machine. Dr. Jamnadas, a cardiologist, he says that humans are like a cactus in a rainforest. What happens to a cactus if you drown it with water? It dies. That's exactly what we're doing to ourselves. We're overstimulating ourselves with food, with work, and that's what we're doing to ourselves. We're overstimulating our brains and bodies. No wonder our energy levels are all messed up. No wonder we develop all these diseases. No wonder we end up overworked and burnt out. So, what do you do to fix burnout or not get into a burnout situation in the first place? Have you been listening to what I've been saying for the past 2 minutes? So is he telling us to quit our jobs? No. Is he telling us to stop drinking coffee? No. Is he telling us to throw our laptops and phones in the trash? No. Look, there's nothing new in what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing new in all of this. You already know this stuff. You just need to be reminded. So what is he saying then? Check your sleep. Check your sleep cycles. If you're tired, get your ass to bed. Don't keep drinking coffee all day long. Have at least 1 day a week, if you can, to unplug from your work. Learn to rest and recharge properly. Learn to absorb positive, recharging energy. There's nothing wrong with having fun with your friends on the weekend, every now and then, but getting wasted every weekend, is that going to help you recharge? Or is it just tricking your brain to forget? So rethink the way you spend your free time. Last one, I have to go, but last one, certainly not the least important, and that is food. Your diet, check your diet. Learn how your body consumes food in order to optimally function. And don't just listen to dietitians, because most of the time those guys don't know what the hell they're talking about. So check your food, do your own research, and sometimes less is more. So, burnout, go back to the basics we just talked about, and learn to live in your body. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, then I know to make more of this content in the future. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Cheers.